Yeah, I thought it was really good in and out of possession, particularly out of possession, which I don't want to keep going on about, but I thought we looked very well structured, disciplined, really hard to break down, which enables our other players to shine when we get it. A good example of that was I thought we controlled the game out of possession. Blackpool will argue they could control the game in possession, but for the penalty, as soon as we won it, one pass forward, bit of magic, penalty, and that changed the game. So I thought we did that well today.
I mean, you're right to say they had a lot of possession, but I don't remember Lucas, apart from I think in the first half where he stretched himself and he made that low save in the second half, having a huge amount of saves to do.
Yeah, and if you look at stats, I think with the goals, with 3 big chances of the game, we missed 1. I agree with you. I think it was a decent chance for them. Statistically speaking, it didn't go down for that, but I thought it was. I've said this many times, that I felt we've got Lucas with us now, who's outstanding. I thought Lucas had a quiet day, and I say that quite a lot. But I think Blackpool are a really good side. Neil and Mike, Ian Brunskill, outstanding coaching group. I think they'll do really well. So that was a big win for us today, because while staying grounded and not getting carried away, I thought it was a big test for us.
Ben House, we talked about him pre-match. You talked about how much you respect him as a player. I think you're allowed to call fouls for penalties, assists, so effectively gets 2, foul for both penalties, and he bullied that back line.
Yeah, his tactical understanding is phenomenal, and I was chatting to somebody this morning about it, and they were saying, what is it you do? And I said, actually, we undoubtedly as a staff play a part in that, but he has to take the credit for it. His game understanding is phenomenal. We ask him to do little bits of how we see pressing and out of possession stuff, and he's just really coachable. But he is a really good player. Powerful run, walks the keeper, wins it again, gets taken down, penalty, and he's proven last year he can score goals. I think he's an outstanding talent.
Yeah, got a great reception. Is Danny Mandroy the penalty taker he's on the pitch? He took his today?
Yeah, he is, and there's no problem with that. Like we before we went to Shrewsbury on the Friday, Tyler was practicing penalties, and Tyler's outstanding at penalties. As a finisher, there won't be many better finishers in the league than Tyler. But I was just speaking to Tyler and Danny. I said, just for clarity, like, Danny, you're on penalties tomorrow, and he's happy with that. But we're quite fortunate. We've got 2 or 3 players that. It's easy to say are capable of score goals, but I've played with strikers and something like that. I've worked with strikers as a player and a coach, and they don't want to take penalties, which I can't get my head around. So putting it in the back of the net is one thing, but we've got a lot of players who want to take pens, and then you have to execute the next bit. So I didn't see the first one, I didn't look at it, I didn't want it, I looked at the crowd. So it was nice to hear a cheer when I went in.
Lucas Jensen was talking to us and saying that his teammates have been saying to Ethan, you need to have a few shots. It was a great little backheel from Danny who sent him away, but we shouldn't forget Ben House's run to open up the pitch. But Ethan took a gamble, had a deflection, yes, but got his goal. Yeah,
I was really pleased for him, because I try and say to players all the time, when you're the other side of somebody, it's virtually impossible for somebody to get back around you when you're 85, 86 kilos. It's going to have to be an incredible tackle from behind. So I'm a big believer in driving, and don't pass the ball. At some point, somebody's got to come out to you. But most of the time, people back off. And I was on the side just screaming, drive, don't come back. So it was nice to see him high up the pitch, get in that position with the ball. I'd need to see it again, but at one point I thought he was going to pass. I was like, please don't pass. And the end bit is actually having the confidence to pull the trigger. And deflection or not, was a good strike. Sometimes you win, you look, and pleased for him, because I think that's the first goal he scored at the club, including in training.
Really?
I'm joking now. But if you look at his career, he's an outstanding technical defensive midfielder. Offensive, he actually gives us a lot in terms of breaking lines and finding people. We'd just like to see him pull the trigger a little bit more often.
But 3-0, an excellent result, a second successive home 3-0 win. Like you said, nobody wants to get carried away, but to be in the top 4 and to have 10 points at the end of the first month has got to be, an excellent return, hasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know where we were in the league, which is really not important. I remember this game last year. I think we lost to Peterborough. Shortly after that, we lost to Cambridge. I think we were 5th from bottom, and I wasn't bothered in the slightest. I didn't panic. I believed in the process. So today's no different. Like, we spoke to the group after the game. And it was just like, look, guys, we spoke about the private bits in between. I was like, please do not get carried away. Staying ground. And they're a really good group. Like, we know that. But, there's a long lot. I think we're a good team. I think and hope we'll have a good season. But don't be getting fooled by league positions right now. We're not a top 4 team, trust me, but we're a very good side who want to break into the top half of the table and be a consistent top half team.
One of the things you might have thought last season is you like goals from across your team. Your 2 strikers who've both performed well still haven't scored this season, but I think it's 6 of your outfield players have scored in the first month, which must bring a smile.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because last year Jack Housey and Danny was pretty much them scoring all the goals every week. I think they were around 1 and 3 for most of the season. I remember going through the whole team, and I remember we had 8 players who played regularly, and between them they played over 400 games, and if they played every minute of every game, that between them they'd scored their first goal after 69 games. So we had no goals in the team. So it was really important. I'm not bothered that our strikers haven't scored. I think they've had huge impact in the game. I think Tyler scored a great goal against Wycombe, which I think was offside, but I felt it wasn't. It's important to see goals. Ethan's first goal, Paudie's already scored. Teddy's got 2 already. Danny's chipping in. So Lasser scored with assists and goals. So Sean scored at Notts County. So it's important to be successful as a team that we share the goals, and I think we've done that quite well.
Obviously the fans enjoyed today. For fans, they always like a nice chance to have a trip to a Premier League club. That's coming up on the horizon now. We can mention it. 2,000 already, I think, have sold in support. A great evening ahead for them on Wednesday.
Yeah, hand on my heart, I've not really thought about it. I can't afford to look past the next game. I'm really pleased with the draw for the club because it's a Premier League club. It's a great Premier League club as well. Brilliant coach. Paul's got an outstanding reputation, rightly so. Bramall Lane, it's a real old school top stadium, and hopefully there'll be a few there. And I'm pleased for the club because I think 20 of the last 23 draws in that cup have been away. We'd love a home draw, but it was nice to get a Premier League club. And again, we'll be going there believing we can win it. Will it be difficult? It'll be incredibly difficult, but we'll be going there trying to get into the next round for sure.
Just finally, away from matters on the pitch, you talked quite a lot about the support you've had from the Lincoln City Board. The news have broken sort of this afternoon about more investment, more than £1 million coming in from the Jabara family towards it. It's just another good sign, isn't it, of the support that they and the other directors are trying to give people like you and the rest of the club.
Yeah, so I've no idea what you're talking about. I wasn't aware of any of that. Harvey's been an outstanding addition to the club, as have all the other board members who are here. Like on Thursday, with a huge big board meeting with 15, 20 board members, lots of people that don't get mentioned from behind the scenes. We went out for dinner. It was just a really nice evening that showed a lot of unity, togetherness and progression throughout the group. But I think what Harvey's done for the club as a director and as a financial backer has been outstanding, as many others do as well, by the way. So real gratitude on everybody's part from that, but it's another example of where the club's going and the attraction that the club has for people. And look, I'm answering your question, which I'm not really comfortable answering about one guy, because I know there's lots of people have put a lot of money in the club. I mean, Clive being the obvious one, being an outstanding owner and chairman, has invested huge sums into the club. But unfortunately, football's really, really expensive. It's an expensive hobby, so. But they're very, very, what I can say is they're very passionate about the club. It means a lot to them. And they've always put the club before themselves, which was really caught my eye when I interviewed for the job. And as a head coach, what's been more important and stand out is that they are what they were perceived to be beforehand, where sometimes you come in somewhere and you go, oh, it's not really what I thought it was, but it's everything that I thought it was and more. So thank you to them.
And I sort of saw it and I was like, football and learning. Because I like a lot of football, and what we get is quite a lot of football, so it's really good. Definitely encourage other people, because I'm in a situation where I might even want to go into the police force, and even though you're doing your sport, you're still getting your football, you're still getting your 3 A levels out of it, so you can actually get your UCAS points or get your 3 A-levels to go on to even different courses, as long as you've got your grades as well as playing football. So it's sort of like it's just a good course to do, I think.